welcome to a brand new week on the AT. Today I am walking currently actually toward the sunrise through the trees. Yesterday we had a lovely little night at Storybrooke Stream or Creek Shelter. And what was originally happening is that Whispering Moose had decided to stay back in Rutland, Vermont, and take a day off because it was supposed to rain a couple inches, and the rest of us didn't want to sit and take a third weather day, so we went out for just a simple 10 miles and thought that we would see Whispering Moose in the next couple days as he caught up to us. And as a surprise, yesterday he showed up at the shelter not long after we'd gotten there, and he brought pie, and good pie from the Yellow Deli. And that was just, man, that made our afternoon. Oh, it was so sweet, quite literally. Aside from that, I got woken up around 2 a.m. because I could hear something trying to get into the bear box. And that was interesting. I've never heard that before. Kind of an eerie thing to listen to and not know, what's out there. Took me a while to go back to sleep, but I did. Didn't have any other issues. But yeah, this morning we kind of woke up a little early, which is why I'm getting the tail end of the sunrise. It's about 6 o'clock right now, and we are going, I believe, 22 miles today. Magpie's parents are also coming out again, so we will see them and get some potential trail magic. So yeah, I think it's going to be a pretty decent day. It is our last full day in Vermont, which is crazy. Absolutely crazy to think about. Yeah. All right. Also, we have started coming across southbounders, which I knew was coming, and it's so cool. Everyone jokes that southbounders are very different from northbounders, and it's true. They definitely have a different energy level, but I think that part of that is just because of where we're at in our hikes. We are over 1,700 miles in, and southbounders are almost to their 500-mile mark right here. So we're just at very different places in our hike, and oh my gosh, I have an actual ladder I have to go down.
Yeah, someone's inside.
More Canadian wildfire smoke. Hiking along as per usual, headed north. But at the bottom of this tree, someone has pointed out how long it would take to drive to both Springer and Katahdin by car. And I have two thoughts about it. Number one, 18 hours is not much. But number two, 18 hours by car, and I've done that with my feet? That's pretty cool. Talk about flood damage. I just walked across this bridge and look at this side over here. I had to walk along the barrier here, but there's trees all along it. Crazy. Vermont's gotten so much rain. My stuff is way over there. Finishing off lunch with chili lime peanuts. Very nice. Good morning. Today is dark and cloudy. Should definitely be lighter than this in the forest. But there's a bunch of rain coming, so I can't complain though. It was supposed to start at 6, then 9, and now noon. So keeps backing up. We'll see what happens, but it's definitely very cloudy. And we can see the cloud kind of through the trees, so we're not really getting too many views this morning, but that's okay. Pretty much all we're doing today is dropping down into Hanover, which is in New Hampshire, which means we have another state line today. And it's a pretty simple 15-mile trek with one major climb between here and there. So nothing too crazy. Looking forward to being in the next state. Yeah. I slept in my hammock last night and it was lovely. Every time I sleep in my hammock, it elevates my feet just enough that they fully drain throughout the night, and my feet feel so much better when I've been sleeping in my hammock as opposed to just on the ground or in a shelter. So, reminded as to why I love my hammock. Not that I really needed the reminder, but it's just definitely a perk. All right, let's get down this mountain. Raspberries. I like that the Welcome to Vermont one is in the shape of Vermont.
I mean, we are gonna go into Hanover.
I think I found Podunk Nowhere. It's right next to the AT. So I couldn't record anything for a long time because my phone got wet, but we just got dumped on. We are absolutely soaking wet. Walking along the road in Norwich, Vermont, heading toward the Connecticut River. So this is our last partial mile in Vermont, but we're soaking wet, but we're fine. We're on this side of the street because there's construction, but on the other side is the post. Crossing the Connecticut River. We might be on a closed sidewalk, but we're just gonna be here for a second. New Hampshire!
I think it's so cute.
We made it to the post office, and well, we're hiker trash spreading in the middle of an Ivy League school town. Everyone here smells way too good. Thanks, Mom. Free pizza slice. Thank you. Thanks to the folks at this church who let hikers stay here for free. Good morning. We are in Norwich, Vermont, but we did already cross the line over into New Hampshire. Last night we stayed for free at St. Barnabas Church here, which was really nice. Huge thanks to the folks that let us stay there. We had access to the kitchen and bathrooms, and it was a lovely place to crash the night, especially after such a rainy day. This morning we're getting a ride from Bill in just a moment here. Back over to New Hampshire, and we're gonna go to a coffee shop and get a little something before we actually hit the trail, and then we will carry on. But we've got a couple days before we really start the whites, but we're just kind of like we're just kind of in a waiting pattern at the moment before we actually hit the big mountains. The only other big thing is that the guys last night got us flowers that smell really good, and we don't want them to go to waste, so we gave one to Bill, and these are going to be going to the people at the coffee shop as a thanks. So yep, pretty decent morning so far. Free maple curler and cafefe.
You taking a video? I'm actually gonna take a video of TC taking her video, because then I'll just get the audio in it.
Well, we made it to the ledge, but we're not allowed over. We're kind of like animals in a cage. Apparently there's special plants that we don't want to step on, so I get that, but look at how pretty. What is that? It looks like an Oreo.
I was like, what?
Just came across a sign in the woods that says 412 miles. Is that right? The other side says something else.
It's better just to start it like this and it's not too supported. I didn't mean to interrupt you. I mean, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
I'm pretty much almost done, so it's all good.
Good morning. Today, I'm actually about halfway up our first climb of the day with this view. And it's a pretty big climb first thing this morning. We got a 2,000-foot climb and a 22-mile day for us. But first thing this morning, we got the last little bit of trail magic from Magpie's parents and said goodbye to them and their dog Molly. And yeah, today it looks like we've got a lot of ups and downs, but we are kind of in the in-between of New Hampshire right before we actually get into the Whites. And we haven't yet summited our first New Hampshire 4,000 footer, but that is coming up very soon. So spirits are high and we're getting some bigger views again. Not the views of the Whites, but pretty good views. So yeah, everyone's in pretty good spirits today. Feeling good, taking it easy on our bodies and pushing north.
I also think she meant like a mile to the very top. Personally, it was not a mile to the fire tower.
Was the fire tower not at the very top?
No. We get to the fire tower where the shelter is.
Feeling smart on Smarts Mountain. The smartest. And in the distance over here, covered in the clouds there, is Mount Moosilauke, which is where we're going tomorrow. And then behind it, you can't see the definition, but in the back there, that's the Whites. The AT here is just a slab of rock. I'd rather go up it than down. Good morning. So yesterday afternoon was chaotic. We were not gonna make it to camp basically. It was like 5:30 and we still had 8 miles to go. So we ended up bailing out and we went to Hikers Welcome Hostel, which was awesome. It actually had some of the hostel pricing of like the South, which was nice to see again. And yeah, we stayed there last night and got a shuttle back here to this road this morning. And today we are headed up and over Moosilauke, which is awesome, except for the fact that, as you can tell, my rain gear's on because it's raining, which feels fitting for our first New Hampshire 4,000 footer. So we'll see how it goes, but we're feeling hopeful. We got a split group at the moment, but we'll catch up to some of the others tonight. And we also know that we are headed to the Notch Hostel tonight. Which was already the plan. So just kind of hostel hopping at the moment, but it's worth it. All right, let's do it. You almost missed Mount Mist. Woo! Look at that. Almost to the summit, but still not quite. We can hear the wind. We're on top of Moosilauke, and we're getting blown away. If my back cover makes it, it's gonna be a miracle. Look at this view! Good morning. Popping in from the trailhead. Last night we stayed at the Notch Hostel. After such an epic day, I was so tired and exhausted. We got to, actually the Notch was full, so we were in overflow tenting, and I tented with Sparky because they didn't have hammock space. But yeah, it was a good night. Slept super hard, and then I woke up today and I'm actually slack packing and going back to the Notch tonight. So my second, I guess I should say, official slack pack, but I have a Scooby-Doo backpack, which is making me feel real cool. And yeah, today will be a 16-mile stretch. We've got a handful of us slack packing today and going back. And then a couple of our family members are just regularly backpacking out today and not going quite as far, and then we'll catch them tomorrow. So we'll be split for a single night, which is not bad. But yeah, alrighty. Let's get up this mountain and see what it has in store for us today. It's a little overgrown with Christmas trees. Well, it's not much, but first of all, it's the sun, and the most view I've had in a while. Pretty sure I'm headed up that.
I'm out of the way, right?
There's a blaze way up there on the tree. But that is just a straight face of rock that we have to scramble up, I guess. And we just came from down there. Dudley's coming up. Talk about steep. I hear you, White Mountains.
Oh, they're just ahead.
Oh, yeah. Where's in front of you? Space. Or like, kind of.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm super interested in looking at your pulse and stuff.
Totally, yeah. Dig it out. That's better. Damn.
Hey, howdy. We are finally back to trail. We stayed at the Notch again last night, and this time I had a bunk, which was cool. And it was a lovely stay. I definitely see why the Notch is in top 5 hostels on the AT. It was awesome. This morning we knew we wanted a slow morning, and it ended up being slower than expected, but not by too much. We are here to trail before 11 o'clock, so that's not too bad. But, well, I shouldn't say but, and today we've got a crazy climb. First thing, I mean, we're walking on this like paved blue blaze to get back to trail, but then once we're there, we have I think it's a little over 3,000 feet of climbing. And today's overall elevation gain is over a mile. So we are climbing a full mile to get up to the ridge. And the ridge today is Franconia Ridge. So that's really exciting. I have seen pictures and videos of that, and I think we're hitting it on a perfect day. We are maybe a quarter mile into this climb, but I just thought of something else. And the climb is going great, by the way. It's awesome. I love it. Really feels like a stair stepper class, to be totally honest with you. Which makes me wonder how Stairmaster, the thru hiker, is doing. Hope your quads of steel are treating you well, my man. We have full packs with a 5-day resupply, and also some of our winter gear back. I think I forgot to say, but between Hanover and then the Notch, I got a handful of things back for colder temperatures, which I'm very glad I have because the feels like temperature over Moosilauke was 36, and I fully expect some of these nights in the Whites to get quite chilly. So I'm happy to have it, but my pack has not been this heavy since the Smokies. Climbing up to Little Haystack.
I put on my sun. Oh.
Welcome to the Alpine Zone.
And so
That is Franconia Ridge, where I was.
Where we start? Is that what you said? Yeah. We were in Hanover. We've only been out here for